I never aimed to define Granny Prey as any one thing. A few years ago, matter of fact, more than a few years ago, it's been a while, I was afforded the opportunity to work with two amazing artists, Hank Willis Thomas and Bayetti Ross Smith, on a project called Question Bridge. And I seen this work go from Brooklyn to the Smithsonian, and it moved me. It blew my mind. It changed my thinking, thus changed my life. You know, it's my first time vibing with artists and seeing them work. It was my first time. I never had the opportunity. Also, just to just talk on a real level, they like, you know, they were cool, some cool dudes, like, you know, just down to earth, you know, and wanted to do something different and amazing. And I appreciate, you know, that I had the opportunity to witness that, and it moved me. And, you know, one thing that I took from that was an artist's work, the work of an artist never dies. And it could be in a Manhattan gallery one day, the Brooklyn Museum the next, and overseas to Europe and beyond after that. And that really triggers something for me. As a hip hop artist, you know, we got the cycle of, you know, album, mixtape, album, single, mixtape, album, single, mixtape, album, single, or whatever. Even with the streaming services, it's still like that. You know, mixtape, album, single, or however you want to put it. And I could never wrap my head around, you know, putting a mixtape together or putting a project together and trying to throw it into the cycle, either to be consumed by it or maybe rejected by it. You know, I'm an independent artist. You know, I feel my work is my life story. So I wanted to really take care of it. And what I came away from the experience after being around these two gentlemen was I wanted to create an album, pardon me, I wanted to create an art exhibit instead of an album. And I wanted to create something that I could put all my creative energy into for life. And that was Grind, Eat, Pray. It started off as a film and concert experience, you know, in 2013, and I had fun with it, and you know, I was able to, you know, put my all into it and create something at least that was different from me, and I felt comfortable with sharing my work. Before that, you know, I've been around for years, you know, performing across the city, you know, without nothing to sell, you know, just for the love of it, you know what I mean? Just out there, you know, putting my art out there, and with no attempts, I didn't want to sell anything. I just wanted to, you know, move people if I could, you know, if I could get on the stage and talk to them for a minute, you know, and that was my journey. But when I ran into these gentlemen, like, it just shifted me and made me want to work on creating something that can be sort of like an art exhibit that lives forever. And I mean, it doesn't have to have a date stamp. It just can, I could just forever, you know, contribute to it. And it can grow and morph into whatever it's going to be. You know, since I initially started, again, it started with a film and live concert experience. You know, it has broadened and has become more centered. But I love the fact that, you know, I can, you know, I don't know where it's going to go. You know, it's basically, you know, as I consume more, learn more, experience more, there's no telling what it's going to be. And you know, not swayed by the hashtags, the fancy wordplay and all that. You know, what does it mean? And, you know, in my life, man, you know, first you grind, then you eat. You know what I mean? And when you go through that process, you understand prayer. And to peel that back a little bit is like, you know, where I'm from, we learn to grind. And when you hear the term eat, you know, I know there's foodies out there, but we talking about eating, you talking about providing, you know, sustaining, you know what I mean, yourself above and beyond food financially, you know what I mean, you know, and with this work, with this music, with this art, I wanted to shift the thinking behind grind and the thinking behind eat, and try to show examples of new ways to grind and new ways to eat, you know, and walk that through, you know, to people that, you know, that tune into what I'm doing. You know, I'm only one man. You know, that's my contribution. Cause, you know, before I did this, that's what I was doing. You know, I used to be you know, put in a category as the, you know, yo, he kicking knowledge, so I couldn't do the fancy open mics and all that. Oh, yo, he kicking knowledge and all that. And, you know, I was, you know what I mean? To the young boys ducking charges, though. You know what I mean? And that was where I found my space, and that's still my space, you know. And I just wanted to, you know, package it different. And so that's what I'm doing with Grind Eat Pray. So I'm not trying to define it as any one thing, anything like that, but this is something that I will always contribute to. So if you tuned in and you following my work, I appreciate it.